All right, what is up, guys? This is Mavs Fastbreak. I am DDP. Next to me, slightly cut out of frame.
Oh, what happened?
Is Eni and Duca.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up? Oh no.
What?
The Mavs stream has started.
What Mavs stream? Oh yeah.
You get the cheers.
Gladly.
Oh God. All right. Well. Here we are.
Just so people would know. No confusion.
Yeah.
He's not wearing a Jay Crowder jersey, people. He's wearing former Mavs legend. Rondo! Put that mug on. Let's go. Road to October begins.
Here we go. All right. I forgot before starting the stream. I have not worn my Punishment Rondo jersey yet.
Nope.
I hadn't put it on.
Nope.
Oh, God. So gross. Oh, I'll be so happy when the freaking off season's over and I can burn this thing. All right.
Rondo!
Oh, man. So,
hello
what is up, guys?
Turkey.
Oh, nice. What's up, Ozan?
Ozan.
Shout out to first guy in the house, Quasimodo. What's up?
Glad you fell behind. I know it's I know we're in the barren lands of off season now, past free agency, so Glad's not in his game anymore.
Yeah.
So Quasimodo, you get the prize this week.
Riley Tracy in the house, the Extreme Gamer 42, Zachary Delgado, what's up? Greg's Court, Ozan, we already hit. Yep. Nice Roby jersey. That's a good save. I was that ready to invest in the future of the team. Yeah. That's all. Abraham Young, what's up? So, here we are for Mavs Fast Break. We've actually been recording some content earlier, though.
Yes.
We'll be dropping those on the channel, probably premiering them here soon. We did some film analysis and breakdown from Summer League for Isaiah Roby and for Josh Reeves.
Boom.
So we'll have those dropping. You guys get a chance to see us do. It's not really film session because we're not sitting there going, rewind it, play it again, rewind it.
That was the most annoying part of film session.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I just want to see freaking highlights of practice. And I was like, my play is coming up next. And then we'll go over the play that's before us like freaking 30 times. I'm just like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, so...
That's probably why I didn't go pro.
Probably. That was the only thing.
That was the only thing that kept me, aside from my two blown knees.
Yeah, so that's not going to help you for sure.
At the same time.
Gabriel, what's up? R.I.P. Costas, indeed.
Yeah.
That was actually something we said 4 or 5 times in our film study stuff. Yeah. We'd see a Costas play and be like, oh, R.I.P. Costas. So, yes, we are going to be talking today a little bit about some of the star duos in the NBA because the era of the super team appears to finally be over.
Yep.
It's been, what, 2010 to 2018?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Because you had the Miami Heat big three, no matter what Ryan Hollins tries to say about that not being a big three. Like, some
people say it started with the 08 Boston.
Yeah, team. But I don't have a problem with how they acquired that, though. Yeah. That was just 2 trades, and that was a very veteran team of 3 guys coming together. To me, super teams are guys in their prime, kind of more or less colluding to join together and recruiting one another and making sure, like, years in advance their contracts matched up for a particular summer, and then Wade being over here like to Miami with Pat Riley, like, hey, don't do a contract that doesn't exceed this. We need to keep this much money open. That's different to me. That's super team. Boston, they just went like, well, you know what? We got a team that's pretty good. We can go get a just past his prime KG, excuse me. I was thinking wrong initials, but still a snake. And then as well, Ray Allen. I don't have a problem with that. So that was a big 3 for sure, and that's where that term popularized a little bit. But super team era is what I think of for that, and that's LeBron's Miami Heat all the way until that. Until just the breakup of the Warriors super team. They lose... obviously, Boogie and KD.
They might be the only. They might be the only team that still has a case for a super 3 with. Yeah. Depending on how you view Draymond, depending on how you view D'Angelo,
and they're still playing without D'Angelo Russell. Yeah. And I've heard conflicting things on that about if they actually intend to trade him. Initially, you were hearing that they were looking to move him. In January, which is the soonest they can move him after the trade, and they just didn't want to lose KD for nothing. Yeah. To which I say, hey, at least you're smarter than the Thunder in that capacity. Yep. But it
will be a smart move if they do end up trading him for something.
Yeah. But then you've also heard that they have no intention of doing it, which is weird because it's like I don't know how your style works exactly within that. But we're off in the woods now. Yep. The whole point of this is we're going to be looking at the superstar duos of the NBA. With the Warriors not having Klay Thompson for presumably most, if not the whole year, because of the ACL.
Yeah. At the timing of it, too.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that this is an interesting list how we look at this. So, obviously, we have superstars.
We're going to figure out.
Everywhere.
We're going to figure out where Luka and KP rank amongst the dynamic duos in the league.
Yeah.
So,
and we're not doing like a specific, like, ironclad put it in stone list here, but we're going to go through and we're going to talk about the different ones, say where we think they rank, and you guys let us know what you think as well.
It's going to be more interactive than anything.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive into right at the top. What do you think is the best pairing? The best
Oh, we're starting that now?
Duo. Why not?
I forgot let me get my list out, man.
Get your list, man. We run the show. What are you doing? Golly, man. It's the title of the stream. What else was I going to start with?
So the reason why, I mean, let me set the stage. So the reason why I thought about this is because I think earlier this week, I think it was a Thursday, NBA 2K, they announced the rankings for the top 4 duos, along with the overall sort of top 20 players in the league who they thought, spoiler alert, Luka Doncic was not amongst the top 20 in the league, which I think that's really messed up. But I think he will be there by the time the season ends, along with Kristaps. But they did the top 4 duo. I agree with them. I think they had the Lakers ranked number 1.
So you just unceremoniously gave away your top 4 rankings just like that. Here's what they had, and I agree. Next topic.
Yeah, I mean,
where's the suspense and dramatic reveal?
Number 1.
Tell me I need to hit a freaking drum roll.
Nah. We're going to hit a drum roll for number 5.
Hit the drum roll. Yeah. I agree.
So, anyway. So that's what got my wheels turning. I'm like, where does the Mavs? I think I just kicked your dog in the face.
What did I say?
That's his fault.
Anyway.
So where does, if we're going to be objective, so we're going to take our Mavs hats off.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, you're wearing a hat.
And we're going to be objective about
take off our Mavs?
No, I said hats.
I'm trying to be objective.
No, asshole. And we're gonna try to figure out where Luka and KP ranks amongst them.
Okay.
All right. So I have a list. I think of about. Here's all the notable teams with notable dynamic duos.
Okay.
So I'm just looking at their top 2 players.
All right.
No order.
How many teams do you have on that list?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 teams.
16, so half the league. Okay, so Man, this is tough because normally on a dramatic reveal like this, you want to work backwards from that. Should we work back from the top 10 down to 1 in this
Let's
case?
go with 16. Let's kind of break this down into tiers.
Do 11 through 16 is almost like honorable mentions.
Yeah. So, like, the teams that we know, the Mavs have a better dynamic duo. And teams might have a better team overall, but their top 2 players are not as good as KP and Luka in our eyes.
Okay.
So, for example, Indiana. Indiana has a fairly deep squad.
I really like their squad, especially in the East.
Yeah, but however, their top 2 guys, even if Victor Oladipo was healthy, I still would have Luka and KP
over.
ranked over.
I think that's fair.
So that's an example of one.
Because KP could have played at the end of last year. It was a decision by KP and the team to work on his physical makeover. And if you look at any of his pictures, workout pictures, dude has added like significant muscle over the off season. So I think that's a fair thing. So
do the same thing. Oh, hit my mic. My bad.
With that being the case,
all right. So
I think he's healthy and good to go.
I have so the teams that I know for a fact that we're better in.
Okay.
I'll give you 5.
All right. These are your honorable mentions.
Detroit with Drummond and Blake Griffin.
I mean, if we're gonna count Drummond as a dynamic duo part, then definitely better than that.
Easy. That's easy.
Blake Griffin, love his season last year. He's great. He's also always injured.
Yep.
But okay, I have no problem with Dallas being ahead of that.
All right. So we got Phoenix with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton.
Okay. Yeah.
We have Indiana with Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner.
Yep.
We have San Antonio. No, actually, that one's a little bit debatable. That's kind of debatable.
What are you saying, Aldridge and Rosen?
Aldridge and DeRozan.
Yeah.
That's a little bit. You can debate that one.
I mean, Aldridge has slipped a bit.
He has.
And DeRozan I like a lot, but yeah.
I'll give you another fact for facts one.
Okay.
Boston with Tatum and Kemba.
You got them ranked in your honorable mentions?
I think so.
Wait.
What are you doing?
I wasn't prepared. Wait.
What are you doing?
Wait.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'll just hit a dramatic button.
There you go. Well, I think jury's still out, but let's see with what Jason Tatum can do. Not that he has a better fit for a point guard with Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker, let's see what he can do with a better squad around him.
Yep.
But if you're investing, let's say the NBA was a 2-on-2 league.
Okay.
Right? And you were a billionaire, you want to invest in a team or a duo, who would you invest in? KP and Luka or
Kemba
and Tatum?
So here's important context we got to set. Based on that scenario, that differs from when we talk about ranking these squads, we're looking at it initially as how do they rank right now? Mm-hmm. But if you're adding the projection of future into it, then yes, that does skew answers quite a bit.
Even I'm talking about right now. Right now. If you have to do it for 1 year.
I probably lean Luka, KP, in that scenario.
And me being, I'm being objective. Sorry,
I'm just watching that.
My bad. And
clip.
Me being objective, I will still go with Luka and KP with that one.
Okay.
Closer than the ones I have. So I have those ones.
I'm a little surprised Boston ranked as low on that list as you have, but again, we're talking superstar duos, not overall talent.
There's some good ones. The NBA is going to be very good next year. It's going to be very entertaining next year. Wait, sorry. Sorry. I rate Jason Bryant's
Snatch so many channels. There you go.
Anyway, so let's say I mark out those ones.
Okay, so you just had Boston. So then we're going into. Okay. So again, for dynamic duos, not for total teams.
Not for total
important to note.
Yep. All right. So Portland with Dame Dollar. Is CJ McCollum.
Okay.
Better dynamic.
And then are we into your top 10 now?
I believe.
Or are you still?
We're still.
Are you at like? 11?
We're in the debatable's now.
Okay.
Like,
let me know when you hit 10 because we got to start doing like our slight dramatic unveiling.
well, I mean, all these are debatable. So Portland's the least debatable that I have right now.
Okay.
Portland and San Antonio Spurs are the least debatable. So we can.
I would take Portland over the Spurs for that 1-2 punch.
I'm talking about where the Mavs end up. Will you take the Mavs do over the Portland?
Okay. Over Portland in the immediacy, yes, only because even though Dame I think is better than obviously Luka or KP in terms of single player star power, I don't have McCollum on that same level. So I think in terms of if you combine their scores, so to speak, I think Luka KP might edge them out.
Okay, in San Antonio you'll have.
I have Luka KP better than DeRozan.
Okay,
and
so I
Aldridge
think
at this point.
I think we've knocked it down to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're saying.
That actually wasn't the drop I was looking for.
So we're saying, as of right now, the Mavericks, in our opinion, in the Mavericks fast break, yes, call us homers, but we're being objective. I'm looking at the camera. We are top 10 in terms of NBA dynamic duos.
Somebody's reaction to hearing us call ourselves objective.
As you're sitting, someone with the freaking Rondo jersey, another dude with the Mavericks Nike shirt and a Mavericks hat. We're being objective, damn it. Don't judge us. All right? That freaking drop always makes me want to like clear my throat. Anyway. All right.
So top 10. Let's dive in. At number 10.
Milwaukee.
So you got Giannis and Middleton at number 10.
I'm trying to figure out where the Mavericks are. I don't have the Mavericks play any spot yet. We're using our basketball brains to figure out where the Mavs rank. So as of right now, we have them top 10.
Okay.
But we're in the top 10. So do we have them above Milwaukee with Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo?
That's a tough one because you're literally talking about the
MVP.
Yeah, MVP of that case.
Of the regular season.
Probably the single most dominant players on the planet, lifetime, obviously. Yeah. So, yeah, looking at it in that sense, I think right now Giannis is better than either. So then it becomes, is Luka and or KP better than Middleton to a degree that it would close that gap as a 1-2 punch is concerned? That gets tough. I'm probably, in the short term, going to lean Milwaukee.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm probably in the short term leaning that. Now, if you're adding in like the feature scope, the billionaire scenario you had for investing, then I'm taking Luka KP.
Yeah. I'm going Dallas.
That Dallas is better than Milwaukee.
That dynamic duo is better than Milwaukee's. Now we don't have the dominance of.
So, question on how we're doing this segment. Are we doing this where we're going through the entire top 10 unordered, but comparing Luka KP to each of them, and then based on all of that discussion, we're going to walk it back and give our top 10 of that? Okay. Just to clarify to you guys.
So basically, if we go through this next 10 teams and we figure out that none of these teams will take Luka and KP better than. We'll take Luka and KP over then Luka and KP are number 10 in our list of, of top 10 duos.
And we have our individual lists because we already have disagreed on one.
Okay. So I have them over Milwaukee.
Number 9.
Utah.
Okay.
With
so
Donovan Mitchell.
Mitchell?
Did I say Mitchell?
You said Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell and Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
I totally forgot his first name.
Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell versus Luka KP. Now, Rudy Gobert is a perennial all defensive player, defensive player of the year. One of the best.
Was he defensive player this year? I think he was.
I think he was this year, yeah, and he was like last year too, right?
I believe so. I don't know.
Well, he's won it multiple times. I know that. So, yeah, can't catch him, agrees with me. Love my Mavs to death, but no way are they better than Milwaukee yet.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, so in that case, Donovan Mitchell, and Gobert versus that. I mean, in terms of all around play.
This is why I like this.
In terms of all around play. But Rudy Gobert is not much of an offensive player. He doesn't have to be. He does enough, obviously.
He's going to be your putbacks.
Yeah, your putbacks, your rim running a little bit. Man, that's a tough one. I'm going to say for in an NBA of today where it's just who can score more points, the dynamic 1-2 punch of Luka KP, I think, has the edge. So I'm going to put Dallas in that category just over Utah.
I will agree with you on that one. Next up, Denver Nuggets with Jokic and Jamal Murray. Oh, sorry, my bad. With Jokic and Jamal Murray.
Okay.
I'm going with Dallas with this one.
Dallas, yeah.
This one, I think this one was fairly simple.
Oh, hey, guys, by the way, we set up a whole new thing now. Anytime you guys want to hit a super chat or something like that, you get the call out on screen and it'll read your comment. Something you want to check out. And as well, we have different stuff set up as well for new subscribers or what was the other one? Super chat subscribers and
I don't know.
there was a third one. Whatever. Click button, see what happens. Just not the red X.
All right. Okay, so this one's going to be a very debatable one.
Okay.
All right.
Number 7.
Because talent-wise, I think they might be better.
Okay.
Fit-wise, absolutely not. And that is
Fit-wise, what do you mean? Like their games complementing each other?
that dynamic duo.
You're going to Houston, aren't you?
I'm going with Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay, so you're talking Simmons and Embiid.
Yep.
Simmons' lack of outside game, that definitely hurts their combination.
It hurts to a point where I would, if I was a GM of
they just gave Simmons a fat new deal too.
They just gave him an extension.
Yep.
I'll give him a couple more years. If he can't develop a somewhat respectable shot, I have to trade him.
Okay.
I have to trade him while his value is still good. To get someone like so I was listening to Colin Cowherd. Shoot me. Okay,
you
I'm
poor
sorry.
soul.
And I think Broussard came up with the trade idea that traded Simmons to OKC for Chris Paul. And,
go on.
And it was something else. I don't know the whole thing. I don't remember it, but I actually liked it.
That does seem to fit both teams rather well, especially OKC in complete teardown mode. They'd be thrilled to get a Simmons at this point.
Yeah, to build around, and then Philly with the only problem is.
And hey, they're used to picking up guys that can't shoot.
Sorry. Man, you're like a salty Thunder fan over there.
Shots fired
and missed
at himself.
Oh man, but I don't know this one.
I'm gonna take Luka KP over 76ers because of fit. Because that's important. You can't just talk about paper on talent. Because if you take paper on talent, you're gonna have probably Houston like right up in the 1 or 2 spot in terms of a 1-2 punch. You got literally 2 of the last 3 MVPs on that squad.
Yeah.
So when you look at it that way, that gets really clustered. I think fit is.
We took Dallas over Utah, right?
Fit is crucial to look at. It took Dallas over Utah.
Okay.
We
put Dallas over Denver too, right?
Yes, we took Dallas over Denver.
All right. I'm gonna keep.
And again, I love Denver's team. They're certainly a better team right now, complete than the Mavericks. I think Denver is going to be a real sleeper in a Western Conference this year.
I do agree with Mavericks. I mean, the Luka KP over Embiid and Simmons. All right.
Yeah. All right. On to the next one.
Golden State Warriors.
Okay, so here's again where it's very important to denote next season versus into the future.
Yeah.
Next season, the Golden State Warriors are Draymond. I almost said Drummond. No, that's not right. Draymond and Steph.
Okay.
Because they don't have Boogie, they don't have KD, and they're not going to have Clay. Give me Dallas for short term. Even with Steph being otherworldly, I like Draymond a lot.
Okay.
But I think.
But let's go with
part of how I look at this. Part of how I look at this is how they fit, not just their games combining, but do you have 2 guys capable of taking over a game? Draymond can have a big impact on a game, but you don't see him take over and score in that kind of way. He's not going to drop 30 on you.
No.
So I think that's where, if you look at it from the scope of today's NBA and it being about scoring and all of that, I look there.
Okay. I think they can almost have two. So, well, what if you consider the dynamic duo for the Warriors to be D'Angelo Russell and...
That's a good point. Yeah, if you trade out Draymond for Russell.
And Steph.
So you got two guys that have been ball dominant. Steph can play off the ball, obviously. The last few years he's had to with KD. That's good. Honestly, for a second I blipped on the Russell.
We always need to remember that D'Angelo Russell's on the Warriors.
I think it's because as we said earlier, we don't know that he's long term for them. That he might get traded as soon as January, just so they didn't lose KD for nothing.
Yep.
So with that being the case, I think that does complicate it.
Now, D'Angelo Russell was an All-Star last year, but will he be an All-Star in the West?
But okay, so what about...
I do not believe he will be.
No, in the West, I don't think D'Angelo Russell is an All-Star.
Luka was close to being an All-Star, and I can almost argue that Luka should have been an All-Star last year.
Yeah, he was in the top 3 in the fan vote, and it only came down to the end, the player vote, where he didn't get the nod, I think, in large part because he didn't have the skins on the wall yet. He hadn't been around long enough to really earn that.
And I believe if
nudge.
KP was playing in the East, let's say if he didn't get hurt, of course he will be.
Even the year he got hurt, he was named an All-Star. He just didn't play in the game because of the injury. So Steph can play off ball for sure, but how about their fit together? Do you view that 1-2 punch? It's not as dynamic.
It's not as dynamic
what Luka KP should be, but it's certainly more proven. Obviously, that's the whole thing with this. We're still ranking something that we haven't even seen. We're just talking purely in theory
with
their style of play and how it looks. So I could see that. Working to that degree, but I don't know.
That's a tough one.
That's a really tough one. I'm gonna say because of track record, obviously, I'm going to still lean Golden State.
Okay.
When it was Draymond, I was willing to lean the other way, but because of track record, I'm going to lean Golden State.
So if we're talking next year, this is obviously not no contest.
So Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
Number 5, 4?
I don't know.
Next one.
Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie and KD.
Again, for next year,
the one that holds him back is Kyrie. Kyrie being as good as he is.
Kyrie is very good, and we can't hold Kyrie's defense against him if we're not willing to hold it more so against Luka and to a lesser degree KP. KP is a great rim protector, but we can't focus on or worry about that and that scope. So I think Luka is already comparable to Kyrie in terms of being able to take over a game. And Kyrie's made some huge shots in his career, obviously. But at the same time, you've also seen him kind of torpedo things a little bit, like we saw with Boston. And I don't know. That, again, for next year, because there's no KD on that team, I think it's Dallas.
Okay.
Into the future, at that point, I'm talking about like the next 2 to 3 years after that.
It goes back to Brooklyn.
I'm going Brooklyn.
So let's go.
I was getting deeper into the woods than I needed to.
So the NBA 19-2020 season will put Dallas above Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And again, we're talking dynamic duos.
Yeah, KD's not going to be there.
Who's worse on defense, Kyrie or Luka?
I'll probably say Kyrie. Yeah,
Kyrie. Luka can off-ball help quite a bit. He's actually, he's got a long way to go. That's his weakest aspect of his game, but he had a lot of block shots last year.
Yeah,
he swatted LeBron on back-to-back shot attempts. At the rim.
All right, so this one's going to be
number 3.
The Houston Rockets with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. This one's really, to me, okay.
On paper talent, it's Houston.
It's Houston.
No doubt.
No, exactly.
Again, they got 2 of the last 3 MVPs. James Harden is probably one of the most explosive dynamic scorers in recent memory. And Russell Westbrook is an absolute athletic freak.
Yeah.
Now, he has had several knee surgeries. His three-point career average is only 29%. We know the tunnel vision he gets. We know how reckless and out of control he can be at times. So on paper, their fit is going to be an interesting debate, but there are people who would be like, hey, the last time they played together, they were in the finals.
Exactly.
There was also a guy named Kevin Durant there.
Yeah.
And at the time, burgeoning Serge Ibaka, who just had a little bit of a resurgence with Toronto this past playoffs. So,
and as we know, the game of basketball is not played on paper. I mean, if it was played on paper, we would not have that championship in 2011. Our team was not as talented as the big three.
You could argue it was like the 5th most talented team at that point, that year in the playoffs.
We wouldn't have swept the Lakers. We wouldn't have beaten the Thunder. But we still did, because there's other aspects of the game that led us to victory, and to that line of thinking. That's why I can argue putting KP and Luka over Russell and James Harden. I can sort of kind of do some mental gymnastics to be like, yeah, I can see them being better because of the fit.
Yeah.
I do not believe Russell Westbrook and James Harden is a fit.
But here's the thing. They've already shown to be wildly successful in the past. Russell can't shoot, we know that, but he's not going to have to do as heavy of a lifting. Now, this past year, people don't talk about this and don't appreciate it enough. Russell actually had taken a step back and given the team to Paul George.
He did, yes.
And until George messed up both his shoulders, his rotator cuff and labrum, respectively, he had double shoulder surgery this offseason.
He had no arms.
He was a MVP candidate, in the top 3, and Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He was great. Russell had to step back. But the 2 or 3 years before that, Russell was putting up historic usage rates. He won't have that workload in Houston, and Houston already showed they could work with a ball-dominant point guard with Harden the last couple of years with Chris Paul. Now, Paul is a much better floor general.
But that Chris Paul, James Harden tandem, although they didn't like each other, was a way better fit because Chris Paul can play defense,
right,
and he could shoot.
Yeah.
So you could let James Harden do what he's doing, and if they collapse on James, you can kick it out to Chris, and Chris can hit the shot.
Generally not.
When James is going to drive in, you can help off of Russell Westbrook. You almost want that ball to go to Russell Westbrook to shoot the ball.
Yeah,
because he's not a good shooter. So that's why talent wise, yes, they're one of the best in the league.
And here's the thing too, though. If we're talking about this in the scope of like a playoff run or something like that, Westbrook is so hot and cold. If he's on and he's having a good run, he'll eat you alive as well.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, people. It's funny to me because you see how fluid though sports is in this case, because you had Houston fans who 2 years ago were like, they'll do the mental gymnastics to make it work. So I view it like this. I think that it's. On paper, it's more talented. Certainly, Houston is more talented with that 1-2 punch right now than Luka KP. And I also think that it's a team with potential that if they get hot at the right time, they can make serious noise. So I think their rating, even though the fit is so in question, I do think their general like of each other and chemistry in that regard could help soothe it a little more than we're giving credit for.
Yeah.
So I still think they are fitting of being a top 3 duo.
Okay.
So I'm taking Houston.
I'll take Houston as well.
That was a very long-winded answer, going around in circles. But
we were trying to think. We're just basically trying to think it out. That's what we're doing.
Because we didn't discuss this stuff before jumping on the show. So we're literally finding out each other's rationale and reasoning and rankings as we go and as you go.
And they're not better than the Clippers.
How are you gonna under?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why you even have the drum roll?
And he's like. And that's my list.
That's my list. They're not better than the Lakers, and they're not better than the Clippers.
Okay, no.
So as of right now,
nothing of dramatic reveal.
I know.
Number 2. Who is your number 2?
I have the Lakers.
The Lakers with LeBron and AD. Answer to both this, as we already said, Dallas is not better than either of these two combos.
And then number 1,
the Clippers.
The Clippers. You got Paul George.
Okay, so the only
MVP candidate.
Only caveat I give to George is the shoulders.
We'll see. I feel like
you have double shoulder surgery, including the rotator cuff and labrum. It's not the same shoulder; it's each shoulder.
Okay.
So that's the only caveat I put where you're like, we assume he'll come back and be fine, and he was playing the best year of his career in OKC last year.
That's what we're doing with virtually every player that has some sort of ailment going into
next year. I feel
That's what we're doing with KP.
Yeah, I know. This might sound weird, but I would rank the shoulder as a bigger question mark to me than the knee. Because Paul George
of
is...
a dude that's 7'3", you will rank a shoulder over the knee?
Not for 7'3". I'm talking about respective to the players.
Okay.
For Paul George, yeah, he can slash and he can dunk and all that, but that's not as much like he's a shooter. He's a scorer. Yeah. So if you're talking about his shooting arm having a major surgery and a bit of an unconventional surgery for a basketball player, that could be something that you have to work through and kind of see, I think. That's my take on that. But I don't disagree with the answer. I'm just saying my only caveat for why I might consider LeBron AD more ready-made.
Yeah.
So I agree, though. Kawhi, Paul George, and then especially with that MVP, roster.
Yeah, MVP.
I mean, I know that's not what this discussion is, but
yeah, you got an MVP candidate versus with the Finals MVP. That's gonna be tough. That's tough. And then add in the whole roster. Whew, yeah, that Clippers team is gonna be monstrous next year. I'm almost certain.
I mean, with Patrick Beverley as well in that lineup, like who's scoring against that front line?
And you still have Lou Williams coming off the bench.
Yep. Yep.
Golly.
It's going to be very, very tough to beat them. If they're healthy, it's going to be very tough.
But it can be done.
The Lakers.
It can be done.
Yeah. The Lakers with LeBron and AD.
That has settled. I don't think Kawhi was ever really truly considering LA.
The Lakers, yeah. I think with LeBron there, it kind of went back to what happened when LeBron went there. People were like, Kawhi doesn't want to be live that year. And yeah, I mean that there was no reason for him when the Clippers are right there with an even better roster if they add him, and he was able to kind of manipulate that into getting Paul George to demand the trade as well. Yeah. So that worked out even more in his favor. But I never saw Kawhi willingly going and standing in LeBron's shadow for 2 years. Like you heard LeBron telling Kawhi, "Hey, after 2 years, I'll step away." First of all,
like, F you, bro.
Yeah. First of all, do you think LeBron really only has 2 years left in him?
No.
There's no way it was 2 years.
If LeBron James is on the court, he's going to be the guy.
He's signed a 4-year deal. Yeah. So no matter what, mathematically, either he's like, "Hey, man, they're trading me. I'm gonna make this happen," or "I'm retiring." No way. No, there was no chance of that. Either of you.
Exactly.
Well, okay, LeBron. I mean, the reason I make that statement, I know LeBron has 3 titles to 2, but I think Kawhi, the Spurs were a damn good team when they won it with him. They were not it was a year where they were just built top to bottom great. So I would rival LeBron's resume with Kawhi's, and with Kawhi being 27 versus 34.
Something like that, 34, 35.
There's no reason for Kawhi to sit in LeBron's shadow for 2 years. So I'm glad that's how it played out, because that's what I was saying for the longest time. I was like, I'm going to feel real stupid if he does.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So basically, we need to figure out where we have the Mavericks at. The Mavericks are, in our opinion, they're ranked... Oops.
And he making himself laugh over here. Anyway.
Where did that come from?
What?
Did you see what it wrote?
No. What'd you write?
Picked up boobs. That's weird. Anyway. I made myself
You just went on autopilot and tried to look up porn or something sitting here next to me. Like, man, come on. The show, we don't have too much longer in the show.
And you know what? I don't look at that stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we have the Mavs 1, 2, 3... 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the Mavericks at 6 in terms of dynamic duos, which is just not bad. Now, Jason Bryant, I saw your comment about would you turn this
you're
damn...
You're writing out the entire drop for that outright lie. Wait.
That's Facebook is here?
Oh, what's up?
Wow.
And he's over here saying he doesn't look at porn ever.
Unbelievable. Bro. I don't. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm deceased. Yeah, that was weird. Anyway,
biggest lie told on this stream.
You're freaking asshole. I didn't say. You know what? I'm done. I quit.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
this just in: Mavs Fastbreak looking to hire a new co-host.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have the Mavericks dynamic duo number 6, Jason Bryant. We are gonna somewhere down the line when the season's about to start up, we will do our predictions on if the Mavs will make the playoffs or not.
We'll do that, and we'll also do our other predictions as well. I'll get the hell out of this garbage, And we'll figure out the betting lines for next season so that any has to do whatever the hell the thing is.
Psych!
And we're going to figure that out.
Absolutely not. That was an interesting topic. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Yeah. And I know there are obviously some people in the comments that don't agree with us, but I mean, some of them have just been hanging around the channel trolling anyway, so I don't really put stock in what they say anymore. If you disagree, that's cool, but whatever.
Anyway.
It's a discussion. It's a flow of ideas and interaction. Of course, you ask them, and Luka's not worth a bucket of water, so it is what it is.
If you ask people in Atlanta, they think Trey Young and John Collins is probably better than Luka and KP anyways.
Okay. I mean,
probably in the Drew League, yeah.
Yeah, there was someone that commented the other day with like their list of why Trey should have had a better resume than Luka for Rookie of the Year, and I read it and I was just like, I feel dumber for having read some of this, because while you give Trey every conceivable argument that he legitimately has some of these, this argument, but I'm going to just undercut all that. Be like, it's really not as impressive when you look at it as like, dude, just hang on.
Yeah.
Duran 1412, love the show, guys. Appreciate you, fam.
All right. So
let's see here.
Other news to talk about.
I want to see something. I want to see when somebody subscribes or does a super chat. Not trying to plug you guys, be like, hey, give us money. But I want to test those out in a live stream. Somebody, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. I want to see how the animation thing pops up on the screen behind us, and as well how that would pop up for if someone does a super chat. Super chat should have an extra feature to it.
This is a secret way of getting
it really is not. This is the first stream with it.
Yeah,
I showed you all this before.
It's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, so I'm curious if it's gonna work. But
I can.
Oh, you're saying you haven't already subscribed to us before?
I was gonna.
I see.
Donation.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like, oh, I'm gonna go subscribe. Like, oh, you all this time you haven't subscribed to us.
Do it on my real account.
All right, so see how this works. It doesn't go through. I'm like, Any, do it again. Do it again.
My butt.
Amon says just subbed. All right, let's see if this thing pops up. I wonder why. There it is. All right, so got the new animation for that, and can't catch him with the donation. Let's see when this comes up here. I'm curious how it stacks on the heels of the subscriber. We got the yup. Let's see. Love the show, guys, as always. I want to see if that comes through. There's Amon subscribing again, so there's a couple of those that have come through. I want to see Kent Ketchum's thing come through. Kent Ketchum, salute for the donation. Love your show, guys, as always. Come on, show me how it stacks up. There it is.
Nice.
Love your show, guys, as always.
Thank you.
That is freaking dope.
So now, if you guys ever want to get your thoughts heard, get your opinion in there you go. Hit us with the super chat, literally whatever amount you want. I don't care. You want to have your thing read? Give us a penny. I do not care. And that'll go through. Sweet. MC Apollo, what's up? What are you guys talking about? Dynamic duos. We ranked the dynamic duos in the show for the NBA. We had about a list of 16, and we ranked through it all. Had some honorable mentions, of course, and then we got to the point where I'm so suspect of what you're doing.
What?
I see you're doing a donation, but you're hiding your text of what you're writing so that it reads out. I am onto your game, sir. $1.99.
Over here.
Any of you could donate $1 through super chat. Any is a sexy beast.
Here's the thing, though. It says Any and Duca donated. Any and Duca's a sexy beast.
Hey.
It's not as impactful. You should have done it from at least your like Easy E or whatever account, Uzi E, because then it would at least look like someone like you'd be like, oh, thank you, random stranger. But yeah, so in the stream we ranked the top dynamic duos in the league. We said how we thought the Mavericks duo of Luka and KP stacked up, and what we considered. Now you could argue in some cases that we were a little loose with our own guidelines. At times we talked about, well, in the impact of immediately, this team is better, their duo is better than Dallas's next year and the year after probably, but future wise, you got a 20 and 23-year-old respectively. KP's about to turn 24, but you can kind of look at it and make the case for long term, the Dallas dynamic duo being better, and their fit together on court is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, you could not ask for a better building cornerstones to work with. So that's one thing. You have other dynamic duos like the 76ers. I know some people are going to be looking at that saying, how do you not take Simmons and Embiid? They're good players, and if you go pound for pound comparing with each guy, you know, they can have their arguments for sure. But fit in that case was the difference maker for us. So it is what it is. Boston, Tatum, and Kyrie. Or sorry, Kyrie's gone. Boston, what was it? Tatum
Kemba.
and Kemba. That's right. That one's a good toss-up, I think. I honestly could have gone either way with that one. I feel like Tatum dropped off a bit last year. I think part of that might have just been Kyrie and that Boston team had chemistry issues early on.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that kind of rounds out. So this is something we can revisit later on as well. As we hit the midway point, we can kind of be like, hey, okay, here's what we said before. Let's run it back and see where we feel about it now. Let us know, guys. Eric Anthony, salute.
Harrison Jersey.
Yeah, for sure.
I love how people like random people who wore number 9.
Yeah.
Instead of Rondo.
Yeah.
Instead of like
Waiting for Eric's thing to drop by. I think it takes a moment when it's coming through there, but it should drop through. There's Eric Anthony.
Eric Anthony donated $5 through Super Chats.
All right.
Mavs content on the web.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Eric.
We gotta do a dance every time. Here come the money.
Little shimmy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so we're gonna be doing more of this stuff. I know we're going into a little bit of a dead period with the NBA. We're gonna figure out what we can roll out on that regard. We'll find some of these. I think what we have to do in the meantime is we have to find more of these discussion topics where you don't have necessarily a news story you're discussing, but you're talking about the dynamic duos. You're making lists. Like in the past, I did pre-made videos where it was like the 5 worst contracts in Mavericks history, the 5 worst free agent signings in Mavericks history, or something like that. We could also do something along the lines of worst trades.
Yeah.
And we can do like more personalized lists too as well, where we talk about your favorite Mavericks that might not have been stars, like from the past, like your what I'm looking for, your kind of biased opinion roster team, like if you're building that, like maybe like throw a Jerry Stackhouse or something.
Oh, so like all-star.
Yes.
Mavericks.
Something like that. I mean, if we're looking at it on that, if I'm not taking
Roddy B, Ricky Lito.
Ricky Lito, that was your guy.
I was a freaking huge Ricky Lito.
Iggy for Mavs, yes or no? I don't think he's coming here. I think he's going to wind up elsewhere. I know it would be a trade, but I don't think he winds up here. Would he be good for a veteran leader to add in? Sure. But
be good for a defensive presence too. Yes,
I think the Lakers are going to take a hard look at bringing him in if they can.
Maybe. I think we could probably try to pull something off.
I think he'd fit well with them.
He would probably want to go to a contender because he's like 38 years old or something like that. And
he has, I need to get the last couple years has dropped off.
I need to compile as much rings before I quit.
He's already got 3. He's pretty well fit.
Oh yeah, freaking
Eduardo Najera, yes sir. That would definitely be one of those.
I want to do like your most obscure Mavs lineup of like your favorite obscure Mavericks that really no one knows about unless they're like a true MFFL. That type of stuff. That's where I come up with the Roddy B's and the Ricky Litos, and
we could also do predicting some stat lines for guys too.
Yeah, we can. That'd be close.
We could talk about that. Oh, I know. Closer to the season, as we know. I see Hype Emperor talking about Seth Curry's prediction. God,
there's some pretty good questions here.
I know the free agent period didn't go like we wanted, but I am so stinking happy he's back on the team, man.
Oh yeah,
I think he was good last year in Portland. Obviously, everyone only wants to talk about his 45%, and when they want to undercut it, they're like, "Well, he only averaged 8 points."
Yeah.
Well, okay, his fit here in this system, without any star power around him at all before, was like 12.5 points, and he still shot like 39-40% from 3 that season. His career percentage from 3, I think, is 42%.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be lethal with the spacing.
When I saw...
And that's one of those analysis reaction videos we're going to do, too. I have plenty of, in Dallas, Seth Curry tape for us to go through.
So I think when that notification actually went through my phone, I actually made an audible noise. Like, and like... yes.
Yeah.
You know, when we found
The only thing that would have made him pop more, and I'm shocked he didn't include it in his biased Mavs list, would have been Doug McDermott.
Oh my gosh, yes. Roddy B, Ricky Lito, Doug McDermott. That's
and he's over here.
I actually need to like do like my research of my favorite guys. A lot of my friends know like
that was Annie's reaction when we lost Doug McDermott. He just inconsolable.
I was upset. I really like Doug. I really like Doug. But I remember it was like NBA 2K, not 14. I think it was 15 or 16 when we had Ricky Lito. It was I had my lineup was like I forgot what point guard we had. It was it Collison at the time? No, we didn't have Collison and Lito.
No.
Was it Darren Williams then?
No, that was two. Lito was like 13-14 season.
No, he wasn't. Was he?
Maybe
I think it was 15. I think it was 15.
I mean, I was covering when he was in the locker room. I had.
Well, you probably didn't pay attention to him, bro.
What you saying? I can't do my job?
No, I'm saying you're probably more focused on the players that actually matter.
Yes and no. Yes and no, because part of it is you just guys aren't always ready at the same time, so you gravitate as they get ready. And guys like Lito, who didn't have to play much of a thing, didn't always have to shower after the game and shit. So sometimes you go over there while you're waiting for the guys, and yeah, sometimes you talk with them a little bit before the other guys get ready. So you're kind of like, if you're Ricky Lito here, I'm like, hey man, what's up? But I'm like eyeing Dirk over here, like waiting for him to be ready. Like, hey man, hey Ricky, what's up? Good game, man. How's that? What? Oh, sorry, I was asking you a question, wasn't I?
Hey man, don't do my boy Ricky like that. I still follow him on Instagram. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, waiting for the day that he comes back.
Exactly. Freaking Amari Stoudemire. That was the only reason why, because we picked up Amari Stoudemire in the buyout season.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, Ricky Lito's gone. I was like, no! I was so angry.
Let's see. Who's in the locker room? Some of the guys that I spoke with and all that during this couple seasons. I covered that for Project Shanks, now defunct. By the way, I do have press credentials back for next season.
Boom.
So we're going to have that in the artillery. I'm going to have some locker room footage from time to time for you guys. Get you some Rick Carlisle post-game presser footage, all that. We're going to make this thing really stinking cool for this channel.
And we're going to build up our Patreon. And it's like, if you donate to our Patreon, you get to ask a question, or you get to tell Derek to ask a question to a Mav.
Oh God! People are going to be hitting the super chat. Ask Rick Carlisle why he sucks. Do you want me to lose my freaking?
Comes back to the podcast with a freaking black eye.
My credentials ripped up. I have to like spill out the pile.
Yeah, snatched up like chains.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those guys were like Monte Ellis, Tyson Chandler in his second swim through here. Yeah. Chandler Parsons was still here. I know. I'm just telling you who was there. Of course, Dirk, Matrix, Vince Carter, Brendan Wright was another one of those guys. Ricky Lito, Dwight Powell.
Dwight Powell what?
He was on the roster.
Oh, okay.
In the span that I was covering for Project Shanks, some of the guys that I spoke with.
Okay.
Who was that guy? Anthony Morrow.
We did have him for like half a season.
Yeah, and we didn't use him for Jack.
Nothing.
There was one more shooter that we brought in that I can't remember. But regardless, a bunch of guys like that.
So you covered it, the 14, 15 was when like our offense was unbelievable, right?
Yes.
Oh man, that was fun.
I did. I was not. You know what? I do have Rondo. I do have tape of Rondo.
You bastard,
dude! It was the season.
It's because
he was there. He was the storyline. Of course, I have tape of Rondo.
You should have never paid him anymore.
You're like, that's why you bought that jersey. Yeah. Now you're just twisting the timeline. But yeah, we got all that from the past, and maybe that's something we dive into in a retro thing where we look back at some of those.
Yeah, we're gonna do some really fun stuff.
We're gonna sprinkle out some retro content.
It's not gonna just be us talking about.
No, it's not always just straightforward sports talk. We'll be more creative and we'll roll some stuff out, some stuff you guys might like.
Let's see what questions they have in the.
All right, we'll take a couple more quick questions and then we're gonna call this stream.
Do us a favor.
Pavel Pavetsky. What did you say? Didn't catch him. Talking about he didn't even come over and play with us. We drafted him. He stayed in Europe. Oh man.
Nick Calathis.
Fan of him. Yeah, Calathis as well.
What's another one?
Even got a technical, let alone kicked out of a game. I think they're having a discussion about Mark Aguirre and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so We'll have that. Let's see. We got time for like 3 questions, guys, and we're gonna wrap up this stream.
Yeah.
Salute to everyone who donated, all our new subscribers.
I appreciate it.
Greatly appreciated, everyone.
Do us a favor and tag us in that question too, so we'll see.
Yeah, tag the
big
questions.
orange.
Tag the Dallas prospect in the questions. It'll make it orange, help it stand out for us. But yeah, man, you guys are awesome too, man. A month ago, we had literally, I think, 1,800 some odd subs, and now we're 2,668.
Man,
I mean, we've blown up in the last month a little bit.
got fat.
Who is the best Texas team? Are we talking about NBA still, I'm guessing? You got to say Houston, I think.
Fine. We'll say Houston.
Here's the thing. I still like the Spurs a lot. I still don't want to count them out.
Don't sleep on the
But I don't
Spurs.
put the Spurs in that top 4 in the West discussion, and I do put Houston there.
The Rockets got essentially a better player, not a better fit, but a better player without essentially giving up anything.
They shed a horrible contract for a bad one,
With a
higher ceiling.
Yeah. So they still have all their people. They still have Eric Gordon. They still have what's that guy's name from Texas? PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
They still have Clint Capella. They still have that team that was a game away of going to the finals.
I'll tell you, if Westbrook was beside himself in OKC because he didn't have shooters around him, he's damn sure got him now.
Yeah. So I guess Houston's better. I hate the Houston Rockets. I was talking with my cousin. My cousin, he's a young man. He's about to enter high school.
Okay.
And I was like, he was an OKC fan. And I was like, do you like OKC now? He's like, no. He's like, I think I'm a Clippers and a Rockets fan. I'm like, you freaking dingbat. And I was like, how come not the Mavericks? He's like, I don't like the Mavericks. He's like, why? What's the reasoning for not liking the Mavericks? Like, how does one not like?
Only if someone had a moral issue with the stuff they had in like the sales department.
Okay.
And think Cuban's an idiot. That's probably about it.
Okay.
But on the court product, I don't think there's any problem with it.
There's like people say I hate Dirk Nowitzki. It's like, how? Like, what?
I have people that say that and they're like, he's soft. I'm like, have you not paid attention to the last decade?
Like, how do you hate Dirk? Like, I understand, like, maybe he took out your team. Like, if you're like, I was a Miami Heat fan, he beat us or whatever, or I was a Laker fan, he
it's fine if they were a Heat fan because they became a Cavs fan really shortly thereafter, and now they're in LA.
Yeah.
It's weird. They travel.
Exactly. Or you're a Laker fan and he completely destroyed your empire.
Yeah, they don't even care at that point. They're like, oh, whatever. We got like 17 championships.
Exactly. Let's Google circuit.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's the case with a lot of fans. Quick question: do you think that the Mavericks will win? Let's see. Do you think they hit 40?
At least 500 this year.
Yeah, he's saying 40 to 42 wins, or a record. Excuse me. He's saying a record of 42 and 40. That's oddly specific. So if he's
above,
yeah. So
I'll add that caveat.
If they're 42 and 40, I think 42. They won 34 last year. Do you think they're 6 games better with just Luka KP firepower alone? Think of how many close games they lost last year, and think about as well some of the shooting they've added in, Luka's own progression. I think minimum 42 and 40. Now, do I think they're a playoff team? I don't know. You got to be at least 46 to 48 wins, I would say, for that. So I think they're going to be deep. If they're not a playoff team, they're right at that precipice.
cusp. Yeah.
And they just gotta do, maybe that's why I think there's going to be a midseason trade. I think before the deadline they're going to make another move. Wow. Not a superstar necessarily.
Robert Covington, please.
But I think they're going to make some kind of move that gives them another significant player that can act as that third guy and try and take them over the top for a late push to try and get into the playoffs. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
But 42 wins I think is doable.
Very doable, yeah.
Who has more minutes this year, Curry or Hardaway? Curry. Because I think they're going to move Hardaway at some point. I think whatever trade they make, he's going to be part of what they jettison.
Why do Mavs? What y'all have against Tim Hardaway?
I don't have anything against him. I'm just saying Curry's contract's much better, and he's a better, more consistent
Curry's
shooter.
Contract is much better. Yeah. He's way better shooter.
I'm not trying to throw dirt at Hardaway, but bang for buck, I'm taking Curry.
Can you just relax on Hardaway? We don't need a clear cap this year. The free agent market this year is trash. You just stick with Hardaway. I think Hardaway is going to be very good for us. I mean, who's the best free agent this year? It's probably going to be like Boogie Cousins or something like that. It's going to be bad. So, I feel like there's no point to even clear cap or anything like that.
No,
his contract is going to get out just in time for free agency 2021. So we're good. So let's not trade him. The way I look at players and contracts, I feel like the contracts exist in a different plane than on-court product. Yes, if your contracts are set up better, your on-court products can be better. But in terms of, I don't like Tim Hardaway Jr. because of his contract. It doesn't make any sense because he's a good player. He's just not worth the money that he's making right now.
Right.
So when I'm talking about specifically on court and what he could provide to the team, I think he's a good player and he can be a plus player for us. But if we're talking about his contract, yes, his contract is not good. All right, whatever. I'll give you that. But when I'm talking about in terms of can the Mavs win this amount of games? Yes, with the type of players that they have, with hopefully Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench, providing a scoring punch for you off the bench, because he was capable. You can look up his highlights. When he was the number one player in New York, he was the number one player in New York because they didn't have Kristaps Porzingis. They didn't have anybody else. He had games when he was putting up 30 points. I don't know how efficient that was, but he's at least capable of doing it. Now we're talking about him going up against guys who are coming off the bench who are guarding him, not the number one defenders on the other team, because when he was the number one guy, he was keyed on. He was like, all right. That was when they're playing against the Clippers. Pat Bev is guarding Tim Hardaway Jr. or the best perimeter defender was guarding Hardaway Jr. and he was putting up 20 points. He was averaging.
But is he as good as Doug McDermott?
He's better than Doug McDermott. God dang it! If there's a way to get Doug McDermott back, I'll take it.
Okay, let me hit up. Let me see. Couple quick questions. Couple rapid fire questions. They're already in here. We're gonna answer them real quick, and then we gotta jump off.
All right.
Let's see. He's talking about Hype Emperor, talking about Brunson. I don't know what the question is. He's saying Baller Brunson more game time this year. Does Brunson get more game time? He's not going to be a starter. I don't think. I think you're going to have DeLon Wright. I think he's better off the bench. He'll get more burn because he didn't get a lot of those minutes early on in the year. So he'll get more minutes, but it's a given.
You had Dennis Smith Jr., you had J.J. Brad.
To me, he's your backup point guard. Yeah. He's your second point guard, not your third point guard or whatever.
He's going to be your backup, and he's going to be running the second team, and he's going to do a damn good job.
Yeah, I like him.
There was a question, the 15 points a game, like all his numbers went up. I'm excited to see what he can do leading our second.
Rapid fire means nothing to you, does it?
No, it doesn't. I'm excited. I want to talk Mavs, damn it. Like, no one in my family talks Mavs. No one in my family watches sports. I don't work with anyone that really talks Mavs. They like to talk Cowboys. So this is my chance. This is my outlet. I'm sorry.
That's good. We'll have plenty of time to do this, especially in the future with some things we got in the works.
I want to do it now. I'm just kidding.
Right. Yes or no?
No.
Do the Mavericks make a trade for Wiggins? Rapid fire question. Someone's hitting.
Hell no.
I'm saying no, and I don't think they need to. So there's no reason to.
No,
especially not for his contract.
If they're trying to give us Robert Covington, hell yes, please. You really make like 11, bro.
I'm like, yes or no, and you're into the weeds, talking about the differences and the nuance.
I'm sorry.
Last question. I've already seen it on here. Will Bobin make an impact? Will Bobby make an impact? Bobby, not Booby, not your search history.
I'm done with you. Bobby.
Will Bobin make an impact?
Yes, he will make an impact.
He'll make an impact, yes. He's not a high minutes guy, obviously, and there's going to be nights where you can't really play him much, but he has great vision, great touch, and yeah, he's just a freaking force that you can't really deal with. He's so big around the basket.
He's going to be a good locker room presence, and I predict that he will be a Mavs fan favorite by All-Star break.
He'll be a force for content as well for anyone that talks Mavericks. So you'll hear us talk about him a lot because he does a lot of stuff. It's not just the handshakes and pregame dancing and stuff like that. He does. Anywhere he's gone, he has been beloved in that locker room. So, he'll be a real interesting character for sure. But anywho, well, that's Brandon Romero. Your timing is unfortunate. We've been going for a little over an hour. We have reached the end of our show. We will have some content coming out. We already recorded some stuff today. I'm going to make some editing to it, and then we're going to drop a couple tapes. Highlights from Summer League and player analysis for Isaiah Roby and Josh Reeves. We're going to do more of those in the future, not just with those guys. We'll also take a look at re-examining Seth Curry from his time with Dallas previously. We'll talk a little bit about KP. We'll have some Luka highlights in there just in case you forgot who in the hell he is.
Yeah.
And
we even have some blasts from the past, too. We might look up some.
We'll go retro.
some old Dirk highlights, just to remember the good old days.
Yep.
Probably even obscure. If we can find some obscure player highlights, like Roddy B dropping 40 on the Warriors back when they had Steph and Monte.
Yep.
We can look at that just so I could freaking geek out. And then other stuff. I mean, I know.
Sure.
I'm not sure if we can do like whole games like
No.
game 6, but
No, we won't have that ability, but we might be able to do something where we record it and then take like a highlights compilation kind of reaction, like of our stuff, like commenting on things as we go through it. But we'll see. We'll figure some out.
We'll get real creative with stuff. Yeah. We'll just do a lot more than just straight up sports talk.
Right. But that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much to those who donated. Thank you to our new subscribers. Welcome. We are going to do our best to roll out some great content for you. Before you inevitably probably get fired again from the show today.
What I do? Hit
the tagline.
And remember, every legend was once an Udoka.
Get out. Get out.
I didn't blow it. I did it on purpose. Every legend was once a prospect, damn it.
What you just said.
I'm done.
Unrelated note, we have an opening now for a co-host for Mavs Fastbreak.
Nope. I'm back.
Salute, guys.
All right.